Good afternoon. My name is Josiah Scott. I'm the gentleman that put together the GoFundMe against the ban that the commissioners were pushing all year this year. Their goal was to take away trail cams with the aid and take of wildlife, or for the aid and take of wildlife. So I have a passion for trail cams. I haven't run them that long. I started in 2014. They're awesome. It's a treasure hunt. It's a pleasure to use them. If they'd have put some decent restrictions, something that maybe didn't affect people during the hunt, I'm fine with that. But it's like they went overboard. So, this all started back in October of last year when Ty Gray sent a letter to the governor's office and said that trail cams could cause a significant public safety health threat. And the gentleman that approved they have to get permission from the governor to open rulemaking, and they got permission from the gentleman that's the governor's liaison for this. And when I had heard about that, I started fighting it, and then we had a group of guys that contacted me and told me, said, listen, we're going to fight this trail cam issue. We believe there's better ways to do this than what's been proposed. So we jumped on the fight with them, and for some reason or another, I become the face on the milk carton, except it's the face on the trail cam. As ugly as it is, somebody has to do it. But as we followed this thing, we started doing public request records, finding out what's going on, interdepartment emails, notes. We know the department had several options on the table. Option one was a total ban. And what's interesting is, as we went along on this and we got into 2021, every time an Arizona Game and Fish Department commissioner or an Arizona Game and Fish Department employee would talk about the proposed rule on the trail cams, not one time was it brought up about the significant public health issue, or safety issue. So it was really interesting because we tried to call them out on it and say, well, what about this? And they would totally ignore us on this. So, and they kept pushing fair chase, continually pushing fair chase. One of the commissioners decided that they needed an option two. And we know that option one was a total ban. Option two was that there would be a quarter-mile rule of any trail cam around a man-made waterhole or a man-made trip tank, and a season. And the season they had proposed, I believe, was starting February 1st through June 30th, you could run a trail cam. Now that's the way they spun it, so doesn't that sound good? Actually, what that meant was from June 30th until the following year in February 1st, you could not run a trail cam. So option two was twofold. It was a quarter mile from water, and it was a season that you could not run a trail cam from June 30th all the way to February 1st of the following year. And of course, option one was a total ban. So just so you understand what's going on with that. So the group, we're working together very hard on this. We actually hired an attorney way back in February. And we've been using an attorney. His name was Eric. He was very helpful to us. We tried to set up some meetings with the governor's liaison that had given Game and Fish permission to open rulemaking. Now the governor has executive orders, and Game and Fish had to make it a significant health safety issue. They blame social media for the words on social media. I had to remind them that words are not guns, although I thought they were. I had actually one department employee that told me somebody was going to get shot over a trail cam. Well, you know what? If somebody's going to get shot over something, then it got shot years ago over a water hole. But then Game and Fish did some great public outreach that's called First Come, First Serve. So I just felt like they could have done a whole lot better on this trail cam restriction issue instead of going for the total ban or option two, a quarter mile and a season on trail cams. So we've really been fighting this thing. So we had an attorney we've been using. So February, March, April, and into May, I kept him on retainer. And we had donations from gentlemen like you that helped us out, and other folks that heard about it and helped us out. We're very careful with the money. Some of us have put in a lot more money than others. That's not the point. The point is here, we want to defeat this man. So it got to the point to where we realized that Game and Fish was going to go ahead and have an up or down vote on June 11th. So many of us showed up there, and maybe you guys have listened to it. Go back and listen to the June 11th commission meeting in Payson is where it was at. It was last Friday. Today is Tuesday. So that's been 4 days ago that this happened. So they did have their up or down vote. Now here's the strange thing about this. Game and Fish has actually had 2 public comment area times. They had one back in February, and they just had one that closed in April. And both times on those public comments, there was 2-1, the first one. The first public comment was 2-1 against any type of trail cam ban. So majority said no trail cam ban, 2-1, okay? Now, the second public comment, those against any type of ban totally blew away the guys that wanted to ban. Just totally, it was like 1,015 people to 51. It was insanity, okay? So most people did not want further regulation. They didn't want further restrictions on trail cams. We know people abuse them. We get it. But you know what? You can't legislate morals and ethics. That's the bottom line. And we all believe that. You just can't legislate that. So then here's the crazy thing. So they had the 2 public comments. Those against it, majority rules, I thought, in this country. Majority rules, unless they steal it, right? Okay, so anyway, coming back to this, when we went to the Game and Fish Commission last Friday, the crazy thing is they allowed us 3.5 hours of public comment. It started at 8:30. They presented their proposal, and I'm estimating 3.5. It may have been 3 hours, but there was a lot of people spoke. And here again, there was more against any type of ban than there was for a ban. All right? So keep this in mind. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking, well, maybe we can convince Game and Fish before they vote, or the commissioners before they vote, that, maybe they need to kick the can down the road a little bit here. Maybe they need to actually do some scientific research. Just so you know, they have no scientific research. They have nothing to back up what they've done except their public comments. That's the only research Arizona Game and Fish and the commission has, is the public comments, which is 2-1 or more, that people do not want a trail cam ban. So I went to the meeting. Maybe I'm looking at the world through rose-colored glasses. I don't know. But I expected each commissioner to vote from the integrity of his heart, not by the collusion of 5. So that really worried me. And I actually went there with an open mind, thinking possibly, we might get some results here. And so we had the public comments. Many of us went and spoke on that. And then the commission decided to have their up or down vote on this. Now here's the strange thing. Every commissioner already had a pre-prepared statement ready to go. They had already decided how they were going to vote before we ever showed up at that meeting. Now here's the strange thing. We had heard, and all our sources had told us, they were going to vote for option 2. When they voted on Friday, folks, they voted for option 1. Now, I want to ask you a question. How did each commissioner know that they needed to vote for option 1? I thought they weren't supposed to talk about things and not know what each other was going to vote. How come there wasn't an option 2 vote somewhere out of 5? How come there wasn't an option 2 vote 2 out of 5? But it was 5-0 for option 1, a total trail cam ban. Now, here's what. I'll tell you why. Here's why they did it. Because if they'd have done the option 2 on the trail cam ban, which is the quarter mile ban, and the season on trail cams is, bear season would have been going on when it would have been legal for you to have a trail cam out in the woods and shoot a bear using a trail cam. But what it did is it defied their fair chase stance that they were taking, and this is the reason they decided that we can't have option 2. Because if we do decide to file a lawsuit, we could use that against them on option 2. So catch that again. During bear season, You could have used a trail cam, and then it would have destroyed their narrative that trail cams were not a fair chase issue. So what we're doing now is we've hired an attorney who is very specialized in suing government. Okay? And we're putting together all the paperwork, all the trail, everything we need to do to start this lawsuit. So keep your eyes peeled. We'll give you an update when the lawsuit is filed. We believe we can win this thing, and we need your help. It's a lot of little guys. We're going against a powerful commission in the state of Arizona. Now, here's another thing I was thinking the other day, folks. Think about this. I thought, well, okay, so they do the trail cam ban, okay? And we become the guinea pig because the first guy to get caught running a trail cam after the rule goes into force, which is next January 2022, then he becomes the guinea pig. But guess what? I believe we're flipping the roles on the Arizona Commission because now they are the guinea pig, because we're going to file a lawsuit against them over the trail cam restriction, over the trail cam ban, and other states are going to be watching Arizona to see what happens, because this has never been done before. Yes, Nevada did it, but they did a season. Okay? They did not do a total ban. Now, we understand the ban is connected to aid and take. We get that. But you know what? If you have a buddy that shows you a picture and you have the tag, you end up killing that animal off that trail cam that your buddy showed you, you and your buddy can be cited and your license taken away from you. We need you. We're the little David against the giant. This is government we're fighting. It's very difficult to defeat a government entity. But I believe if we can join forces as hunters and agree together. Now listen, if they'd have done it different, then we'd approach it different. But they lied to start with. The significant public safety health threat. That was a lie. And because of that, we cannot compromise. We have to totally defeat this proposal. And hopefully by defeating this proposal through the lawsuit that we will be filing, we can start over and come up with something that's reasonable for everybody. It works for you guys that love trail cams, the guys that are against them. I don't know all that at this point, but I believe at this time, we've got to defeat it totally. Total defeat. And the more of us that come together as hunters and stand against this lie, we can destroy this thing. So we've set up this GoFundMe Trail Cam Fund. I'm going to give you the exact name of it. It's called the Arizona Sportsman Trail Cam Defense Fund. Arizona Sportsman's Trail Cam Defense Fund. We're going to put a link at the end of this video so that you can find it. But if you don't see that, you can just put in Arizona Sportsman's Trail Cam Fund. Arizona Sportsman's Trail Cam Defense Fund. And it'll bring it right up and you can help us donate. Now, for those of you that are worried about the money, you bet, there's crooks. We're not. Okay? We're here to make this thing work. And what we're going to do is when we are dedicated to this, any monies that is not spent on attorneys or is left over after we defeat this, we are going to donate it to a charitable hunting organization, a 501c3 organization that is hauling water right now in the state of Arizona in this insane drought that we're going through right now. If we have money extra, we're going to give it to them. We know of one organization that actually has 10 trailers available hauling water. And that's what they do for mule deer. It helps the elk, the turkeys, the bears, the lions, all the animals out there, especially in Arizona, in some of the units that are more arid than others. So that's what's going to happen with the extra money. We just want you to know that. Please join us and let us know. And please say comments to us. Let us know how you're feeling about this. And we'll try to give you updates as soon as possible. Sometimes we may not say everything because we don't want everybody knowing everything. But we'll give you an update on what's going on here as soon as possible. Okay? So this is a very serious situation, and we need to beat this back as soon as possible. So please help us out here. We're going to make this happen. We're being responsible with the dollars. We've got people that are helping me oversee this thing. We're going to do the right thing with your money. I believe we're going to win this thing. Why don't you come on and join us? Thank you.